Hey guys, Nash with the Tampa Drain Dudes. We've got Brandon and Joe here today. Happy New Year! Today is going to be a shorter video. I'm just filming it with my phone. I didn't bring the camera out. Not a huge job. Really simple job, relatively, ideally speaking. Hopefully it continues that way. All we got is downspout redirecting with a mix of a yard drain. Everything's going to be solid pipe, no perforations. This is not a traditional French drain. Nothing crazy is going into this. We're just trenching the ground, putting pipe in it, and redirecting water from point A to point B. This case scenario is whenever you have gutters with downspouts coming down, which we just got the gutters done on this house about 2 weeks ago, around the front, the back, and the other side as well. But you can see all this washout. Well, you can't see because Joe just dug that, but there was a lot of washout. The grading on a lot of these houses here in the Wesley Chapel area isn't great, and it ends up in water pooling against the side of the fence right here. I know you think it might need to be watered over here because there's dead grass, but the reason the grass is dead is because there's too much water over here. Joe, you want to explain what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens when water sits in these areas like this, your grass, especially St. Augustine here in Florida, develops a fungus called brown spot. That spreads really rapidly whenever you can't get this stuff to dry out. Even though we have decent sunlight on this side, it just looks like everything is way too saturated. And it's really just not giving the grass a chance to sow its roots pretty deep, and now you get this.
That's that. So what we're going to be doing is taking this 4-inch corrugated solid pipe. We're going to start back there where Brandon is with these things that are called catch basins. They intake water, they act as a clean out point, and they catch debris like lawn clippings and leaves if it is to get into the system. We like to add them after connecting downspouts rather than downspout filters. That way, if any roof granules come off, we can pull them up and out of those basins. We're going to be using downspout adapters to connect the downspouts, Y's and T joints to connect them into our main line, and we'll carry it down the line. So if you guys have an issue where water is pooling on the side of your house like this, and you don't want to go the expensive route of a traditional French drain, this is a great solution, dependent on the soil. All the houses here in Wesley Chapel, they ship in dirt, clay. It's really solid from Georgia, and that water doesn't percolate through into the ground below. It just sits up on top. So if you guys have really soft soil where you are that goes down deep, look into doing a traditional French drain. It will work better. Yes, it will cost more. But if you're in an area like this where you've got hard soil and the water sits on top, this is the solution for that. Or if you're just trying to redirect these downspouts to prevent this kind of washout that is happening right here. We'll take it all the way down to the sidewalk where we're going to end it at a pop-up emitter. So I can go ahead and show you guys a little part of each step so you guys can have the confidence to do this yourself. All right, we are working our way down the line. Brandon is leading. He's going for depth and just getting the mass of the dirt out. Joe's following behind with the trencher shovel and just gliding across that bottom to keep proper slope as we're moving down the line. Whenever we start these systems, 99% of the time we start with a one-way catch basin. These are 6-inch catch basins with round green tops. It's the most common one we use. These come in larger 12-inch frames as well, but you got to think when they're larger, the grates are larger on top, they take in more debris. You also have to be deeper with the larger ones, so your yard's going to naturally need more slope to get a proper drain installed and still have good water flow. And apart from that, the outlets are still 4 inches. So if your pipe's 4 inches either way, you don't need to get a larger, more expensive basin if it's not going to have any faster water flow, which is why we like to opt for the 6-inch. These run about 25-30 bucks for the basin, and the lid itself, depending on what lid you get. Those larger 12-inch run about 100 bucks. So we start with a one-way right here. We'll tap that pipe and it pops directly into this fitting right here. We'll tap it with a screw. You can always use tile tape if you have a lot of roots, and we'll run that pipe down to our first connection where we'll cut it and use a Y. We always run Ys when we're coming from downspouts, depending which downspout on the house we are coming from. This is a main downspout. You can see all that roof line from that side and this side come down. So we're gonna have a lot of water flow fast flow rate, so we need to merge into that water traffic, so we use a Y. If you use a T, it's going to run straight into it, cause a little whirlpool, and you're not going to have very good water flow. So shoot for Ys if you can get them anytime that you're going to have high water flow. Another instance when we're making a connection where you won't use a Y is a drip line. AC drip lines put out a lot of water, but they're not putting it out at a high rate. It's just drip, drip, drip. So something like this, we're going to stick a one-way catch basin directly underneath and connect it, but we can use a T in a spot like this. Been here for probably 15 minutes. Lucked out today and got really, really nice soil for once in our lives at the top. And then as you get a little deeper, it turns to that solid clay as usual. All right, this is the pipe we're running. 4-inch corrugated solid pipe. There's no slits in here. There's no perforations, but it does have all these ridges, which means it's the corrugated pipe. You can also use SDR 35, which is that 4-inch. They have other sizes too, but that blue-green kind of pipe, it's a lot sturdier than this, but you only need that if you're going to run some pavers or some kind of heavy hardscape over it, or if you're running zero-turn mowers, any large equipment over it. We are not in this case, so this works just fine. You can also use PVC pipe or any other pipe you want, but if you use perforated pipe, the ones with the slits, make sure you wrap it in rock and fabric or it will clog. Cut this with a knife and we'll pop it in. All right, see, we've got a one-way directly underneath this drip line. That way that AC drip line has somewhere to put that water. Joe just backfilled back here. Always compact around your catch basin lids after you get them installed. Reason being is we just broke up all this dirt. It is super loose, so if we get a rain in the next 24, 48 hours, it's going to eat around and cave in the sides of those catch basins, and water is not going to enter the system, and you're not going to fix your drainage issues. So make sure compact, nice and solid around them. Show you guys this downspout adapter here. This is how these get tied in. You might see these with cleanouts sometimes. If you're running a hard pipe like SDR 35 or Schedule 40, you will need to use a Y and build out a cleanout. That way you can access in the future. This pipe does have a little bit of give to it, so if we need to, we can compress it and pop it off and clean it out that way. But the hard pipe has no give, no play in it, so you can't just pop it off, so you will need a clean out. This line runs at a diagonal and comes in right here in the Y, and right after we have a catch basin so we can catch any debris that might come down this downspout. Now we're working our way down the line. Joe's backfilling. And it's going pretty quick. Been here for probably 45 minutes to an hour, and
About halfway done with this side.
maybe halfway done with this side. Alrighty, we finished up this side. It's 11:30. We got here roughly 8:30. Started about 9. Guys are already working on the other side. We already backfilled and put the sod back on this side. Did forget to show you how we end these though. So I'll show you the process while we're doing that other side. All it is a 4-inch pop-up emitter. What this is this part right here is just a lid, a mushroom lid. This lid lifts up whenever water comes out, and it prevents any kind of erosion, or at least slows it down. Lets that water trickle out, and when that water stops, this lid can close, and you won't have to worry about any snakes or critters, anything crawling up into your system. What's important to note on these pop-up emitters, it is a 90-degree turn under here, which goes into the pipe, but it has a weep hole. It's got about a 2-inch slit at the bottom of it, so whenever the rain stops and there's not enough water to completely push it out with the head pressure out of this pop-up emitter, the water that's still sitting in that line needs somewhere to go. You don't want it just sitting in the pipe and growing mosquitoes, so it will slowly percolate through the bottom of that little weep hole that's in there. So if you're just perching them separately, make sure you don't just get a regular 90, and if you do, go ahead, poke a couple holes in it to let that water percolate through there whenever it's done raining. Go ahead and see the other side. All right, this side here, we just have a little patio that's covered. So we have a downspout coming down and wrapping around. Same thing as the other side from here on down. We'll connect this downspout. We've got our catch basin. 1, 2, 3, and number 4. Typically we run catch basins every 10 to 20 feet. But more importantly is that you're placing them in the lowest spots of the yard. The whole purpose of doing a yard drain like this is so you don't have to regrade the whole yard. All right. Whenever you trench, you can make sure that trench that you're dropping the pipe in has proper slope. But anywhere that you see any little holes or bellies, craters in the yard, that's where you want to put your catch basins to collect that water. Everything else is sloping down towards the fence. And the good thing about doing a system like this is it's super easy to add stuff to. With all of our installs, we do 2 free adjustments within the first 90 days. That being said, if we get rain, which here in Florida, we get rain definitely every 90 days. So if we miss a spot and there's another low spot that might need a catch basin, it's super easy for us to splice that pipe and enter another catch basin into the system. So probably not even going to film the rest of this one, just because it's just a mirror image of the other side. We just take it down to a pop-up emitter. Pretty sure we covered all the material. So this is how to redirect your downspouts and also combine that with a yard drain. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, click like, click subscribe, and check out our other videos for more. This is one of the shorter, more basic ones. We get into a lot of detail on our sump pumps, different downspout redirecting drains, but this just wanted to be a quicker, shorter one. So see you on the next one.